In this video, I want to talk about the fear of commitment because for so many years, I believed that I had a fear of commitment when it came to relationships. I would literally break up with boyfriends like in high school and middle school because I wanted something new and exciting. I would actually tell them that. And I'm currently not married. I've been in a relationship for 10 years. People often ask, why aren't we married? And it always makes me question, or at least it used to make me question, do I have a fear of commitment? My name is Janelle Fraser, and I seduce women back into their power by helping them to transform the relationship they have with themselves, their vulnerabilities, and their sexuality. I discovered that it wasn't a fear of commitment that I had in relationships, but there was a serious fear. There was a fear of complacency. My fear is that we will become complacent and go into default mode, and that we're gonna get boring, and that we're not gonna continue to reinvent our relationship, or we're gonna get stuck in our ways. So it's not a fear of commitment for me, it's a fear of complacency, and I think that a lot of other people may have the same experience. When it comes to couples, my deepest desire is to help them keep their relationships conscious. The way that I teach couples and individuals to communicate, to express themselves, helps to keep their whole life conscious. What I mean by that is that it's an active project that's evolving, that's constantly changing, and that is continuing to expand. Now, most people like the idea of this. They're like, oh, of course, I never want to become complacent. But we do in our relationships. Look around and be honest with yourself. I know that we fall into complacency patterns all the time, and my fear meter starts to go up. I used to think this was my fear of commitment meter. It's my fear of complacency meter. To be willing to keep our relationships conscious, we must consistently and routinely have conversations that challenge us, that question the norms of our relationship, question the rules of our relationship. That one year it could feel like we're married or with someone totally different than the next year because of the way we're constantly creating our relationships. Instead of it just being, well, we got married and this is who I married and this is what I wanted and I'm gonna continue in this pattern. To me, that is a recipe for unhappiness, a recipe for divorce, a recipe for, So growing up, my mom used to always say when I was thinking about breaking up with a boyfriend or struggling in a relationship, she'd say, well, Janelle, relationships are hard work. And I hated it. I hated when she told me that. I didn't want them to be hard work. I wanted them to be easy. And what she was really teaching me that day was to not be complacent and to know that there is going to be effort that needs to go into your relationships, to not just jump in a relationship and then hope and assume that it's all going to work out. And that it does take conscious attention if you want it to last and evolve and be the way that you want it to be. And to me, that is just beautiful advice. And so many people are throwing in the towel and then they're recreating the same patterns in other relationships years later. And the truth is, if we don't work on the problem in the relationship we're in, it's just gonna follow us to the next one. And I really think that so many couples would stay together, would be happier, would thrive more if we kept our relationships more conscious. And so maybe it's not a fear of commitment that you have or that you thought you have. Maybe it's just a fear of complacency, which I think that should be a fear we all have. Or at least the commitment to not be complacent and to keep evolving and growing together. But here's the thing, you can't keep your relationship conscious if you're not conscious about yourself and understanding of what is going on in your mind, why you feel the way you do, why you do the things that you do, because that's going to impact how every area of your life shifts. So make sure you download in the description my self-understanding starter kit. That's going to be a guide and an audio training that's going to help you to train your brain to start to understand why you do what you do and all of those things that I just mentioned, because the truth is you can't have a conscious relationship unless you are conscious yourself. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below with a hell yes to the fear of complacency and your experience with this, as well as make sure to subscribe because I post videos every week and I want you to be here. Make it a great day.